Hello, it's Friday, July 5th of 2024, and today I'm on a Belgian double-decker intercity train just outside Brussels on the way to explore the silliest station in the world. Yep, it's called Silliest Station. I'm just here because of the name. Silliest Station is located in Wallonia, on the border with Flanders, about 35 kilometers southwest of Brussels. The station, which originally opened in 1866, is situated on Belgian Railway Line 94 that connects Halle, or Halle, to Tournai, or Doornik in het Nederlands. The weather is unfortunately very Belgian today, but we'll make it work. The first thing I noticed when I got to the station is actually this concrete wall behind me, which is here because behind it is Belgium's high-speed Line 1, which carries Eurostar trains to London and Paris, as well as other French TGV services. The trains come by so quickly that this wall protects from any wind that would knock you over. Silliest Station has two very long, low-level gravel platforms. I personally love gravel because it makes such a nice sound when you walk on it. So this platform that I'm on now is platform 2 with trains to Tournai, that way away from Brussels. And on the other side is platform 1 with trains towards Brussels going that way. And yes, the trains here do run on the left. Both platforms have multiple waiting shelters. So you would think, oh great, I can just go into this little room and sit down. But they don't have any seats, just a lot of echo. Well, not a lot, but a little bit. So where are the seats, you might ask? Well, strangely enough, they're here, exposed, and you could be rained on, even though there are shelters right there. It's the same situation on this side too, by the way. Is a high-speed train approaching? Yep. Here you can find maintenance workers in their natural habitat, fixing things. I won't be here at night, but there are many light poles like this one all along the platform, so I assume the platform is well illuminated when it gets dark. The light poles also have speakers right there that play announcements in French, but inside the station building, which I'll go to later, announcements play in all 4 languages. The languages being French, Dutch, English, and German, because German is also an official language in Belgium. I think I've seen all there is to see on this side, so I'm gonna make my way to the station building. I just need to make my way past this conveniently placed trash can and information screen and go down this step-free, ramp-accessible underground passageway. The passageway is quite nice because it's filled with all this art, including a fancy Silly font here. Well, the font's not silly, it just says silly. Get it? Street Gare, because it's a gare, which is train station in French, and art. I just realized that although the passageway is accessible, you can get to the other track without going up any steps, you have to go up steps to enter the train here, so it's not that useful. And platform 1 is basically the same as platform 2, other than the fact that it extends like 30 meters more to the east. Platform 1 has a ramp to it too, by the way. Actually, I lied. There is something interesting on platform 1. There's this little walking shortcut. So if you're going to Bassilly, which is the town over there, instead of walking through the parking lot, you can just come down here and go straight to the town. Okay, now I need to actually go to the station building because I'm getting way too distracted. This is the station building. It looks really nice from here, but it's the amenities that count. So let's see what it has to offer. The first thing I noticed is that instead of being on the platforms, the departure board is here. It's a very nice departure board, very modern, it's easy to read, but it could be a bit brighter, especially during the daytime. At least the departure information on the ticket machine is very clear, which brings me to the next thing. The ticket machine. There's a singular ticket machine at the station just to the left of the main doors. But I didn't purchase a ticket from a machine to get here. No, I'm not fare evading. I actually purchased a Belgian, oh, come on. And a high-speed train. I I actually purchased a Youth Holidays ticket from the SNCB or NMBS app. The ticket allows anyone under the age of 26 to have unlimited rail travel in Belgium for only 35 euros a month, or 18 euros a week, during the months of July and August, or the summer holidays here. So if you're under 26 and you're going to be in Belgium, definitely purchase this ticket if you're going to ride the train more than like twice long distance. The station building here has this B-Post drop-off box, or the Belgian Postal Service, as well as a B-Post Smart Collection box. This must be super convenient for regular commuters at the station because they can just drop off and pick up their mail right here on the way to work. I'm here in the waiting room within the main station building, and it's really nice, actually the only station building. It has this really clean wooden roof, which kind of looks like a floor, as well as these free books, sort of like a library, like you would find like those library boxes on the street, but it's in a train station. This is such a good idea, as well as some classic paper timetables over here on this wall. I love the Belgian timetables. I think they're very easy to read. They show you the track, except for this one. I don't know why this one's not printed, as well as all the stops the train is calling at and the times that it will arrive at each stop. We can see that from Monday to Friday, there are generally 2 trains an hour per direction, but during peak times, there can be up to 4 trains in that hour, and some of the peak services have P on them, others are just normal intercity. On weekends, though, service is heavily reduced with only 1 train an hour per direction. That's still pretty good for a station of this size. I think the only thing missing from the waiting room is Wi-Fi and water fountains, but what they do have, according to the sign inside, is a bathroom. Here it is, marked with a unisex sign above. So if we go inside, we'll see that it is pretty clean. The smell's not awful. There are some urinals. Whoop, that was a loud door. There's a stall, as well as a sink. There's just no soap or paper towels, so they kind of need to refill that. The station building is very nice, but the facilities, the bathroom and the waiting room, are only open from Monday through Friday from 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. Now that we've checked out this part of the station, let's look at this part of the station. We have some free covered bike parking over here, as well as motorcycles, I guess, motorcycle parking. And if you have some money to spend or are afraid that your bike will get stolen, you can also pay to put your bike in this secure room over here. If you already have a train subscription, it seems to only cost $7.50 a month, or for 1 year only 75 euros. There's also a bus loop over here just to the west with 4 bus bays and a ticket machine. As you can see, each route is very infrequent, coming at minimum once an hour, except for during rush hour, then they're a little more frequent. So it makes sense that most people either drive or take their bike or motorcycle. And finally, the elephant in the room, this massive parking lot behind me. I mean, it's not huge, it's not as big as American park-and rides, but it's not small either. My favorite thing about this parking lot is how the cars are nicely interlocked with each other to make it more compact. I find it interesting how the parking lot on this side is made of asphalt, but on this side it's brick. So I don't know which one came first or second. I assume this one came second because it looks nicer. I looked it up and there are 670 spaces. So I don't know. I don't know if that's big or not. There are also parking barriers, but I don't know what the price is. I would assume it's not too much though. Anyway, I'm starving, so I'm gonna make my way to Bassilly, which is the closest town, about 10-minute walk away, to try to grab something to eat. This map here is actually really useful. We can see all the towns and walking routes between them. And there are also these signs here. So we can see that Bassilly is, or Bassilly, I don't know how you'd say in French, is 1.3 kilometers away that way, whereas Silly is 2.5 kilometers that way. This is the road to Bassilly. The dashes are very close together in the center of the road. But what I find interesting is that the sidewalk and the bike lane are one and the same. So yeah, I guess it's Wallonia, so they don't put bike infrastructure in properly. You know, they should have put another sidewalk here, but oh well, I guess there's not that much traffic. Some more signs to point me to Bassilly and the other places. This is the road that is the shortcut to platform 1. Hello, cows or bulls. I don't know anything about animals. They look very tired though, that I know. Although we're right next to this quite busy road here, which is not pleasant, the scenery is very pleasant. I wish there was like a nicer footpath though, but other than that, I'm enjoying this walk. Is that a grocery store? I hope so. Looks like it. Looks like an expensive one, but I'm gonna go there anyway. Before I get to the grocery store, what is this sidewalk though? Like, what? This is so bad. The market is actually really nice. There's this like salad bar thing and I got some food from there. The center of Bassilly is that way, but it's still another kilometer away, it seems, according to that sign. I don't actually want to really go there. I don't know what there is to do. So I'm gonna go all the way back, walk about 40 minutes to Silly, the slightly bigger town. If only these buses were more frequent, I could actually make use of them. Oh well. The service is once a day here. That's quite literally laughably bad. The sign says that Silly is down this road, so let's go. I'm pretty sure that the main road is the fastest way, but this way is much more peaceful. Now that it's a little quieter, I just want to say, like, I love walking next to farms like this. It's so nice. I don't know. I just like seeing the landscape. Look, it's a recycling park that uses Comic Sans font. So the street that the signs send you to is this nice little country lane that does not have a sidewalk, but there's like no cars here, so it doesn't really matter. But it parallels the railway, both the local and high-speed lines. I want to pause here just to share a little fun fact. So Silly and Bassilly are two towns. Silly is the main one, and Bassilly means lower Silly, right? But in Dutch, the towns have Dutch names too. Bassilly is Zulik, which would be just Silly, I guess, and Silly is Op Zulik, which is upper Silly. So instead of using the word lower, the Dutch use the word upper for the other town. That's kind of funny. We continue forward. I guess the road becomes a proper bike path now. Interesting. It's made of concrete too. This path is extremely bright. Like, it doesn't look like it fits with the rest of the environment. I could only dream of something like this in the US. Look at this plant. It's like grass. It literally looks like a Zelda video game, the way that it's like moving in the wind. Wow. Turn to the left. Oh, not yet. Wait, I actually need to. Okay, wait. Turn to the left. Eurostar. That's such a long train. Oh my god. So the road continues down that way, but there's a sign telling me to go, oh, the train, another train. But there's a sign telling me to go here. So is this a nice pedestrian cyclist underpass? I'm assuming so. I mean, it's not nice, it's quite dark, actually. But, yeah, that's what it is. This is such a lovely exit, though. Oh my god. You're now entering the outskirts of Silly, but we still have 1 kilometer to go. And it does seem like Wallonia just doesn't know what sidewalks are. But they do know what sharrows are. Those are everywhere on this road. What is this house? This architectural style is very different. We're almost at the silliest center in the world, the Silly Center. I actually think I can go down this little path here, which will lead me, it's a bit of a shortcut. It's also kind of overgrown, but it's an adventure, we'll say. Interestingly, this path, it's on Apple Maps, but it's not on Google Maps. That's very rare. Usually something's on Google Maps, but not on Apple Maps. Oh, and we came out directly at the supermarket here, the Deleuze, Proxy, Deleuze, something like that. We've basically arrived, just a bit further though, I think. Here we are, the center of the little town of Silly. So this is the Silly Center. It's very tiny, but there are plenty of Silly breweries, some Silly stores, a Silly post office, a Silly church, of course, as well as a Silly monument. Actually, it's not Silly, I probably shouldn't say that. The only thing I hate about the town is that the Silly town square is just a Silly parking lot. Having made it to the silliest place in the world, I might as well do my outro here. Silliest Station, although not the best looking, was a lovely quiet station with the occasional rush of high-speed trains. I'll try to get some ridership numbers and I'll put them right here. I also feel like I didn't make as many silly jokes as I should have at the start, but I did make up for that at the end. Anyway, that's all from me for today. If you enjoyed, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! This is such a silly idea.